Hey, 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 here we go once again, setting it straight with fam. This is me, Bobby B, and I got my boys once again, Joshua and Jordan B, sitting here ready to bring it like they always do. There's no knowledge like them boys' knowledge. We about to spread it out right now. Looking at them Dallas Cowboys, and I was looking on TV the other day, and I'm looking at the camp and see what was going on. Then I get these things coming from my phone saying that Dallas Cowboys are not supporting us. The fans are not supporting us like they used to. Man, what are you trying to get to? They trying to put us down? We are them Cowboys. We don't need to be there. That's probably why I'm not there. But that's all right. We're going to do this. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff today, man. It's going to be very interesting today. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in camp. We see some things in camp. You know, we still not having our boy there just yet, but that's okay. You know, we give the opportunity to see all of the other receivers and players and see what they're doing right now, and check and see if our quarterback, our Dak Prescott, is able to throw to someone else that he seemed to be doing. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about those camp standouts and what you guys seen. And, you know, I've been checking out some stuff, man. I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. So I know we were talking about this offline. So who I'm going to today, Jordan, you know, you've been looking at these camps and see what's going on right now. Come on, tell me, what have you seen so far? Anything that stand out to you like, oh, my God, what's happening here? What was it?
Anything that stood out? It's from the tape that I watched, and I'm not paying too close attention to anybody in particular. Well, I actually was trying to get some tape on. The only person that I think I'm concerned with this going into the season is Steele, and I've been trying to find some tape on Steele, and this nobody's actually really talking about or putting any good tape on him. They're more so worried about the rookie, who actually looks pretty good. I'll let Josh get into all of that because I know he was pretty excited about that in the text message in the group chats. But I don't know. Like, I don't have anyone that. There's some things that I'm shocked by, like, or I wouldn't say shocked, but I'm just like, oh, I guess I'll get into that. I was more so like taken back by Trey Lance's play, because coming into training camp, he was like, "Oh yeah, I feel good. I feel like this is gonna be my best year." Yada yada yada. And you got people in the comment section saying, "Dang, he looked like Dak 2.0
Dak
in the bad
2.0?
way."
Oh, in a
In the
bad way.
bad way. In the bad way. In the bad. Everything flawed about Dak is what they're saying that Trey Lance looks like. So they said they might as well pay. Jerry might as well go ahead and pay Dak. um, so yeah, that actually took me back, because I was actually having high hopes for Trey Lance, and you know it's training camp, and so
Yeah, it's not the
I take
preseason
everything with a grain. Yeah, I
or
take
season.
everything with a grain of salt. You know, these guys know. I mean, they're these tendencies and what 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 they're trying to do. So yeah, so that I guess for me that's all I have really. I'll let Josh get into it, because then what he said I might get mad and take offense to what he says.
Well, so what you're trying to say is what you've heard, but Trey Lance is a broke Dak. That's what you said?
Trey,
That's
look,
what I saw.
his yeah, he's not as
That's not what I
consistent.
heard.
He's not as consistent as you want him to be, right? He'll have some pretty good throws. He has some really like on the money throws to like a couple of receivers that hit a on the money throw to Jalen Tolbert and stuff like that. But there will be times where he would not see the linebacker at all. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't see the linebacker, and then pretty much what's going on is he'll throw it right to the linebacker. I think he did it like 2 or 3 times. And we're not even just talking about like your first string linebackers like Eric Kendricks or something like that. We're talking about like your third string, and he's like the player of the camp because he's making all these plays on Trey Lance, and because he's just not seeing it, but he's throwing it right to them, right? But
And you know what?
the traits are there. The physical traits are there. Like he has speed like no other. He has the arm talent. It's just what's in between the ears is that's what's the issue. But I mean that can also be coached. He just needs a little bit more time. But I mean especially if you're gonna like replace Dak. I mean I just think that like it's just gotta keep on working. But here's another thing. I think Mike McCarthy's probably, if there's any other coach besides the coach of the 49ers, right? Mike McCarthy probably would be like, because he's really strong on quarterbacks and, making them or making them better, if you will, right? But the player that stood out to me outside the rookies, right, the most is Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert has definitely taken this camp by storm. He is like, because beforehand, I was always like, okay, he would do great before the pads would come on, all these great stuff. Like even the first his rookie year, he would do great, doing like rookie camp or whatever like that. But when it comes to the team periods, he would kind of like shy away. But and then even happened even the second year, he got a little better. But this year, I mean, I don't know if it's Dak. Because we're going to talk about Dak too, because Dak is making everybody look good. I mean, when you're talking about Billy Johnson, Billy Johnson. Look, I even told you like, a touchdown play to Crooks, and you were like, or Cropper. You were like, who in the world is Cropper? I don't know, but Dak knows who he is, and he just made him look great, like, but Jalen Tolbert is he looks like he's about to have a breakout year. That's all I can say right about him. Like he's taking this training camp by storm. He's probably, and you know what, I will go as far as say this: he's having a better camp than Brandon Cooks is. With him playing this good, I am actually way confident in I am way more confident in our wide receiving core than I was probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I am super confident in them, and they have the makings of being probably the best wide receiving core in the NFC East, and I really do think that. Like right now, I still think I'll give the edge to the Eagles, right? Because they do have AJ Brown and who's the other guy? I forgot what the other guy's name was. But they have those two guys, and but Cowboys are like right behind them. Like Jalen Tolbert is looking great, and I'm talking about Tony the Tiger great. So that's all I'm going to say about yeah. And so like he's doing some things that like, he's creating separation. His route running has gotten a lot better. I'm not talking about like Amari Cooper better, but he has significantly gotten better.
Okay, I'm gonna stay right there. I'm gonna stay right there then. Since you were talking about what Dak was doing, let's talking about these rookies that's out there. You say he was throwing to people that no one even heard of. So, if there's any other rookies that you see out there that made some serious impact so far?
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say rookies, but
go ahead.
Billy Johnson is a second year player. He was on our
third year
practice squad.
Like that,
yeah, he was on our practice squad. But yeah, he's been having a great camp, which might be like, which he reminded me of Miles Austin, where he just his work ethic is gonna get him a roster spot. We'll see in the preseason. I mean, we're low on depth at receiver anyway, so who knows? Especially going into the season, like you never know. So he's been looking really sharp in the few reps that he's getting.
Yeah, when he's over there, the Cowboys are. I think everybody's battling for that fifth wide receiver spot, right? Because I do think your locks are CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Jalen Tolbert, whoever's going to be.
I don't even think Jalen Tolbert, even though he's having a good training camp, I don't think that's necessarily a lock. Like you could still get that third spot.
True. It's like if somebody significantly outshines him, but at this point, like I think I'll be happily surprised. Look, if somebody's going to outshine Jalen Tolbert at this point, that makes you even more confident in this wide receiving staff, like our wide receiving core, right? So, but for what I think, right, and Jordan's right, but my thing, I still think that Jalen Tolbert is pretty much a lock, and then Kevin, I was supposed to say Kevin Durant, the short guy, Kevontae Turpin. I said Kevin. Kevontae Turpin, right, is number 4. So like between 4 and 5, like I think even though Kevontae Turpin is going to be a lock for special teams or whatever like that, I still 4 or 5 spot. I don't know like who's going to be in that spot right there, you know. But as far as the questions you asked about rookies that have been impressing me the most, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen Tyler Guyton, my boy.
Get your pom-poms.
You know what I mean? So, one thing I will say about this, right? If that kid did not go to Duke Manyweather, I don't know, but he went to Duke Manyweather, and he was, I mean, his work that he was like while everybody was vacationing, he was going to Duke Manyweather during the off season, right before training camp, and he was getting his hands right. I mean, the whole entire O line did, but he was getting his hands right. He was getting better and better and getting the fundamentals right. But he does have the makings of being very solid. I mean, he clamped down Micah Parsons, right? And he is doing his thing with Marshawn Leland, even though he's a rookie, right? And I haven't seen any or heard anything between him.
Let's show that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much like, as you can see there, right?
Wow.
I don't know if he's hold up.
Nah, I'm gonna have to go. Hold on, because I had some changes. Go ahead. Go ahead and talk about him.
So anyway, his form is great. As you can see, like on the inside with Micah Parsons, you know, he's definitely put his hands inside and he's locking up. He's sitting down on him. He's definitely sitting down on, on Micah Parsons, and he's not letting him go anywhere. He's putting him around the horn on some plays. Right, so he's not letting him get like you don't see any complete like whiffs, if you will. So that's something that you would want to see in your offensive, your first round pick. I'm not going to say he's going to be all pro, but I think he's going to be solid.
He did. I would say he did whiff a couple, but I think and he didn't have his hands inside. He didn't get him inside on Mika in a couple reps. But his athleticism, he's really athletic. He's really quick, and he was able to.
So you made up for that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, his physicality, his speed made up for it, and allowed him, which they might have called holding in the real game, but in practice, I was like, okay, he got real quick, he got back, and then he eventually did get his arms back inside. On a couple reps, he did that where he didn't have his hands or. He got beat a little bit, but his speed made up for it for him getting back there, which I was like, okay, that's that physicality, and his technique is still being polished, still being worked on. But I mean,
I also noticed that
it looks really good. It looks really good.
A couple false starts.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a Dallas Cowboy, you might as well go get the false start badge added to your repertoire because everybody on that whole O-line is going to get a false start at some point.
Okay, I have it here. I have it here, so you guys can look at it. Okay, there you go.
Boom, right there. As you guys can see, look at that. Around the horn, right? Keeping because not right now you don't really have to stay right there. As long as you keep in that space around the quarterback, because Dak is really good at manipulating the pocket, right? So as long as you keep that space, that's still I consider that a win. I consider that a win for Tyler Guyton right there. Like that's still a win. You putting him around the horn like that, hands inside. You're not tilling the grass, if you will. Your feet are constantly moving, and you're not allowing penetration at all.
Okay,
I wish we had some.
Here's another one.
Once again, right? Another one with Tyler Guyton, just around the horn. There were some ones that he was just sitting on, and I mean, he pretty much almost pancaked Mika Parsons, whatever. Who I really want to see over there is DeMarcus Lawrence, because I think DeMarcus Lawrence has a little bit more tools in this shed. And then I'm not saying he's smarter than Mika Parsons, but I think he, as a overall rusher, I think he
Catching
has a little.
savvy.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit
And
more
he's got more
moves.
weight on him.
Yeah, and that's what you kind of want to have against that. Um, those stood up to me in a great way. Also, I know you didn't ask this, but like I would say, as far as rookies goes, areas of concern, if that is honestly Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe, it's not because of his. I will say this: his pass blocking is good, run blocking is good, the snapping of the ball, that's what's killing him, and that's why we see the Brock Hoffmans of the world are taking the first team reps. Um, excuse me, I said Zach Martin. Cooper Beebe hasn't gotten that snap like consistently, because you need consistency when it comes to as far as centers goes, right? You can't have bad snaps. If you have bad snaps, that's just not going to be good, right? We saw that with Tyler Biotis his first year, and that was not good. You want somebody that's kind of consistent, and they're going to keep on working with BB. But I will say this: I am confident now that Brock Hoffman's going to start week 1.
Really?
He's going to start week 1, which is not bad, because Brock Hoffman's actually stacking on good days too himself. So he's actually not allowing that much penetration at all either. He's keeping your quarterback clean. He's hat guy. I mean, he's not moving pretty much. Like he's not. When I'm saying hat on hat, he's not going to be moving. He's not going to be moving forward, or he's not going to be moving back. Right? He's just he's one guy. If he signs to that one guy is taken care of, right? And so, I mean, he may not move the guy, but the guy that's not going to move him either, right? And
Right.
those are like your B, C rated linemen, and that's kind of what you kind of need, you know. Um, Marshawn Leland, he's doing good. I mean, obviously he's going to have to do good, because I don't know if you guys has heard that Sam Williams is hurt, and he has a season-ending injury, torn ACL and MCL, and I actually had high hopes for him too. I thought he was going to be a major part of the defense, but it's football, unfortunately. So I think Marshawn Leland is doing a pretty solid job. His get off the ball quickness is insane.
Right.
And what I mean by get off the ball, like as soon as the ball is snapped, this dude is like almost in the backfield. So that's what you kind of want to see with your defensive ends. Maris Luafau. For a rookie, he's doing great. I wouldn't really want to put him on the first team, but he's a guy that's like, if they need a rotational player or a player in a pinch, I think Maris Luafau will take the job as far as the mic goes. Kalen Carson, cornerback. They had like a second and third round grade, and it is showing. That dude is like peanut butter on jelly, white on rice. Like, he is sticking to your wide receivers. He is making it very hard for your quarterback to make throws. I mean, even though Dak is like insane, he's fitting those balls in where they need to go, but he's making it extremely hard. I'm talking about no separation almost, and those quarterbacks are going to have to be like accurate, right? And that's why you kind of see like where your Trey Lances and a little bit of the Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is still doing his thing, but your Trey Lances of the world kind of getting picked off like that when you have sticky covers like that. But who else is there? Oh, Justin Rogers.
Oh.
There's some people that are saying that Justin Rogers, defensive tackle, I think it was a 7th round pick. Some people, the media, even though Mike Zimmer doesn't agree, which, I mean, at the end of the day, he's seeing things that we don't see. But Justin Rogers is doing, I believe, a little better than Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith is doing pretty good, but I think Justin Rogers is, a little, just a hair better than he is.
You say Mozzie Smith is doing pretty good, you said?
He's doing better. He's been doing better. In the beginning, he was struggling. Boy was struggling. but it seems like now he's starting to stack. I think he's starting to understand his, as people quote unquote understand his assignment. You know what I mean? And I think he's starting to do his thing when it comes to defensive tackle. But I just think Justin Rogers right now has the edge on Mozzie Smith. I mean, there's still more days to come. You know, Mozzie Smith just seems to be getting better and better, but it just seems that right now Justin Rogers still seems to have the edge. I don't know if I missed anybody. I think that wide receiver, what's his name? Joyner, I think. I forgot what his name was, but he's doing decent for what it is. But I don't think he's going to be in the running as far as I can see him on the practice squad. But
okay, so
that's my
rookie.
Go ahead.
No, you about to say that's your rookie?
That's my rookie assessment.
Oh, okay, I mean that's good. So still looking at camp and everything right now, because obviously that's the topic right now, and seeing what we're going to do, and are we going to develop some people's and see, did the organization do well about, going out and get some good players based on, who we have and stuff like that, and the people we didn't get, on the free agency back in the day. But looking at the position groups, what would you think, both of you, what do you think are areas of strength right now, as you can see it? And hopefully, things may change, but what you see right now in our areas of strength and our areas of vulnerability, what do you got? Anyone?
Honestly, I think our area of strength is our quarterback. And for our offense, and then for our defense, I honestly don't know. I want to say it's going to be, they're going into the season, it's going to be on our cornerbacks, but based off training camp, like the defense has been, to me, in certain areas, has been whooping on the offense.
I agree.
So, yeah.
So this is what I think of areas of. What about your vulnerabilities before I go?
Vulnerabilities are our offense. I'll say our running backs. I was gonna say Dak, but our running backs is probably our area of weakness. That's probably gonna hurt us in the long run. I saw
Dak
Zeke
for vulnerability.
He's our strength and our vulnerability, but no, it's probably gonna be our running back group. I still don't trust the running back group. I see clips here and there of Zeke looking old.
Really?
But then at the same time, yeah. But it is what it is. For our defense, I think it's going to come down to our linebackers and how well they perform. They look decent so far in camp. They look decent. But like I said, training camp, you never know. When it's time to come into the season, things change.
Okay, and you,
right.
so say you, Joshua.
All right, so I'll do offense and defense. So offense, outside because I'll do something that's obviously the easy one's quarterback. The quarterback room. I do think that all the quarterbacks are strength. Even with Cooper Rush.
All the quarterbacks are our strength.
I think
Trey Lance.
I even think that Trey Lance as a third stringer is better than 90% of all the third stringers in the NFL. I'm sorry, he is. I mean, he just is. He has pretty bad days.
So you're comparing him to all the third stringers in the league. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, okay, I think Cooper Rush is good. I mean, this dude has a 5-1 record. I think he's good enough to start, but yeah, obviously Dak. So what I think right now, who the area of strength is for the offense, I would say a tight end room. I think the tight end room is the area of strength for the Cowboys offense. I was going to say the O-line, but there's some unknowns and holes and everything like that. And I kind of saw some issues with Terrence Steele during camp. And I'm like, all right. As he did some good stuff, but there was some stuff I'm like, okay, what were you thinking on this play? Like, why did you not even account for Micah Parsons? Even today, they had the blue and white scrimmage, and Micah Parsons, Terrence still was on the right side, and Micah Parsons was just like, remember that last play of the game for the Seahawks, and Micah Parsons is just free like that, and he caused with Geno Smith, it was exactly like that. And I was like,
did we have that
Terrence, yeah, I have the one for Terrence still, I think.
video? Okay,
And
hold
I was
on.
like, Terrence, like, it's like, what were you doing?
Okay, here we go. Terrence Steele.
Okay, that was not the one, but as you guys can see, I mean, no, I think is that Mika right there? I think that's I
No,
don't
that's
think
not
that's
Mika.
Mika, but
That's not Mika.
yeah, yeah. And so once again, like if you're getting pushed back like that, probably not the best. You know, I mean, right now you're getting pushed in the lap. And so the things with Terrence still is like he'll have some really good plays, and there's some plays I'm like, okay. And I hope that it's not where Terrence Still is your weakest link, you know, of the thing in a bad way. If he's your weakest link in a good way, that's great. But if in a bad way, like he's just having some of the same issues that he had last season, that's not going to be good. But Terrence Still wasn't really more of a strength guy. He was more of a technique type of guy who's more on the technique type of guy. But as I said before, the tight ends are your strength, and I'll say the vulnerabilities for offense obviously is the running backs. When you have, and I love Zeke Elliott to death, right? But when you get Zeke Elliott and Rico Dowdle is your number one guy, right? I think that's probably not the best plan to go with if you're coming into the season. When you need you need to spell Dak with running plays. I don't think Rico Dowdle is the answer for that, or or Zeke, Rico Dowdle or Zeke or Royce Freeman. I don't think they're the answer. As far as defense goes, I think until Trey Diggs comes back, I think the strength of the defense right now is your linebackers. Demarion Overshawn is looking crazy. He's looking crazy. Demarion Overshawn's looking crazy. Damone Clark is looking he's looking pretty solid. You know, Eric Kendricks, he had a little bit of back issue today or whatever like that, but he's looking good. Lewis Overshawn, like it's a complete 180 from what I saw beforehand. Like this has gotten me very intrigued about the linebacker situation. And then I'll say a close second will probably be the safeties. The safeties are probably one of the strongest. You know what? I'm gonna switch that. The safeties are the areas of strength. Your safeties are your areas of strength, and then right behind them is your linebackers until Trey Diggs comes back. Areas of weakness or areas of vulnerability, you guys already know.
You about to see
What I'm gonna
Mozzie
say.
Smith, the interior run.
Defensive tackles. Defensive tackles. I think I'm going to stand on this. They are going to get another defensive tackle. They're going to get another defensive tackle before this year starts. I am like 90 to 95% sure that they're going to be looking. And the name to be looking out, what was his name? Levon Joseph or something like that. I forgot what this guy's name was. But the Cowboys were the rumors into looking at him.
So you are
Levon
confident.
Joseph.
So you are confident that the Dallas organizations are confident that our DT staff, our DT club, is not what we're going with. It's not up to par. You believe in that our organization is thinking that our DT crew is not it.
Yeah, I do believe that. I don't think that they're going to say that, but I do think that you're going to see in the near future, like breaking news, Dallas Cowboys have signed defensive tackle, defensive interior, you know, John Umpty Scrunch. You know what I mean? So, and it's going to be like a name that people heard, like Linval Joseph or something like that, right? An older guy. It's not going to be like the best guy, but it's going to be somebody that can like do what needs to be done, at least for the Zimmer system or whatever like that.
Hmm.
You know, so that's honestly what I think. I do think that Mozzie Smith is doing a lot better, but I just don't. I don't see the Dallas Cowboys in reality going with that lineup because after Mozzie Smith, who do you have?
I don't know.
So either it's going to be him, and it's either going to be him starting or whatever like that, or they're just going to be sharing the load. So you're going to need a better. I won't say you can have maybe he'll get better, but I just think that there needs to be better play at defensive tackle, or at least the one tech.
So Jordan, you thinking that you have that same thought that they're not having faith in our DT that we have right now, and let's stop this here. Well, let's not stop it, but let's not hold it just to their organization. Do you believe that our DT is well enough to go in and start this season, or do you think that we should go outside and get something else?
I just think probably for depth purposes. I mean, training camp, we're still early into training camp, so I don't know. I'm not
That's
as
fair.
shooketh. I'm not as shooketh as Josh, and I I put this as I treat training camp as everyone getting reps, learning the new playbook, learning everything. But things are gonna change when preseason hits, and then when the start of the season hits. We we always think guys are gonna be one way, and then they turn out another way all the time for everybody, every team, every year. From training camp to when the season starts to the end of the season, like everything changes. You find out a guy doesn't have dog in him, and then he might just be a practice guy. He looks good in practice, but when the bright lights came on, he turned into he turned into a chihuahua. So that's why I don't put too much stock into everything. I've seen the good and bad with Mozzie from last year. I've seen the good and bad this year. I think his strength is him being able to pass rush more so than run block, because he gets to take advantage of his speed and his physical traits when he's able to pass rush. I think that'll come. I mean, he had a sack. I think he had 2 sacks or a sack and a half last year. I think he'll be able to expose or utilize that more and expose other offensive linemen that aren't as um, aren't used to dealing with somebody that like that inside. And then all the other stuff is just he's just gonna have to learn technique. He's just gonna have to remember to keep his feet on the ground. There's other times where his foot, his right foot that comes up off the ground, and so where he could have quickly won a battle, he kind of staggered for a second, and then
And
gets
Jordan,
to
let me stop you right there because I'm going to feed off of what you're saying because I'm not disagreeing with that as far as the feet go. So furthermore, with that, even the coaches like media was telling, or here we're hearing the coaches were like, Mozzie, put your foot down. Mozzie, put your effing foot down. Like they were like kept on telling him to do that because he was always playing on one foot. Like Jordan was saying, like he's playing on one foot and he's not putting the other foot down, so which can have more power with that. Right. And then, as you were saying, the only thing I would disagree with you, I won't even say disagree, because I agree with you the fact that his strength is speed rushing. But apparently today, Mike Zimmer was like, they're not trying to put him at as far as speed goes. And I was like, wait, what? I mean, that was his strength last year. And so they're trying to put him more as a power blocker or power rusher or power run stopper than as opposed to speed. But go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
yeah. And then the thing is too, like coaches say one thing and then change too, because you don't want to spill all the beans for other coaches to figure out what you're gonna do going into the season. So I take everything even the coaches say with a grain of salt, because like I don't think Mike Zimmer's that dumb to sit there and notice, hey, my guy's light in the butt and he excels at this. I'm gonna make him do that. That's just setting him up for failure. And if he does, and that's something that Mozzie will try to have to adjust to, so his tape looks good. But at the same time, hopefully it doesn't cost him because I will fire him for that. um, so we'll definitely see. But at the same time, yeah, Mozzie's just got to do those other things. Because I think Mozzie is right there. I think he's like right there. If he can just get that technique down. Because like I said, if you lack weight, your technique has to be great, has to be good to make up for that. Because we know you have the physical traits and you've exploded and you have explosive plays, but in those technical areas where it's time to run block, and it's more so run blocking, and when it's time to run block or when it's time for the offense to run, you have to be able to get your feet down and do those technical things to make up for you not being, just being able to muscle guys like you did in college. So yeah, and I think that stuff will come. I think that stuff will come. It's one thing he probably had. His coaches in college probably didn't teach him that discipline, and so he has to relearn that. Like he has to constantly, okay, I gotta put my foot down, make sure my foot down. And so I think he's fine. I think we'll be fine at D tackle. I know we like to. I don't know how Mike Zimmer is going to run D tackles, but I know Dan Quinn like to rotate everybody on the D line. It could be a thing where they see 80% of the snaps, and so you're running Odigizul and Mozzie out there for 80% of the snaps. I don't know what he plans to do with the D line. He might. So it all depends. Like if we're gonna be a rotation team, do I look at this and like, oh, like we don't have any rotation players. So what happens when Odigizua goes out and that person up next to Mozzie can't do Odigizua to make Mozzie look great, or vice versa, or if Mozzie goes out, how big of a dip are we gonna take? So that is where the depth comes in, or if they're just gonna have to play a ton of snaps. But that wouldn't be good for them come later into the games because they'll be more tired, and that's normally when the offense takes advantage of your defense. So it's all we're just gonna have to wait and see it out. I'm just trying to get to the preseason games so we can kind of see and
See
make
Trey
those
Lance,
assessments.
baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow! But check this out. Now that before I move on, outside of the NFC of Dallas side, Joshua, what have you seen? Have you seen anything that move us from the number 20 spot in the defense that you had us rated?
No, yeah, D line rated 20, not the defense.
Okay, I mean D line. Have you seen anything to move them off the 20 line?
No.
They're still at 20.
If you're talking about the front four, no.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, next podcast, we're gonna go each team and go to their D line, and we're gonna go down the list. 32 teams D line, because that's crazy. Because I'm looking at other D lines across the league. Because I like to look at everybody. I've been watching other people's film more than the Cowboys film because the Cowboys bore me at times, and I'm like, I don't know where you're getting this. We're number 20.
I will say this though.
There's some pretty bad.
The front seven now. Now if you're talking about the front seven, I mean, I put them up there. But I just think that like that interior, man, it's not
that
good.
interior is not as bad as you're making it out to be.
I just don't think it's that.
Like,
Maybe
look,
I will change
everybody, every defense, at every position, they have their Achilles heel of what they're not able to do good at. Like you can't be sure. No, God didn't make anybody perfect at whatsoever. So everybody is gonna be bad at something. Like even the 49ers D line, they're gonna be bad at something, and that's probably the best D line in the NFL. So our D line is going to be the interior D tackles are going not to be the best.
Anything, to be honest with you, as far as the D line goes, you're talking about 49ers, right?
49ers? I think so. I think what's his name can be had a couple times, but I don't think their interior is as good as
is it Cowboys?
Not as a Cowboys. I just don't think they're like far superior. That's all I'm saying.
I think so. I think
but like our Achilles heels are. I mean, they're better than us, but I think we're
10 times, 100 times.
I don't think.
Oh
they're
my!
100 times better than us.
Jeez.
I don't think they're 100 times better than us. Our O line did pretty good against that interior D line. It wasn't like Dak was getting blown up in when we played.
Let me put it to you this way. Even in the NFC East, Mozzie Smith, any team, he would be backing up. He would be the backup for
in the NFC East.
110%.
No, he wouldn't.
110%. Not the Giants.
He wouldn't.
Not the Giants. Because the Giants have a way better.
It depends on what they're running. If you're running two defensive tackles, yes, and the Eagles for sure. He would be starting for sure with the Eagles. It would be. That's one person. That's one person. That's one person.
Play the same position.
You put two. They run 4 D linemen. So what are you talking about? There's another starter right next to him. You run if they're playing a 3-4.
You're saying that he goes from the 1 tack to the 3 tack? I don't know how Mozzie Smith is in the 3 tack, so I wouldn't know. I'm just talking about the 1 tack. That's all I'm talking about.
I'm saying he plays D tackle, so if you're running 2 D tackles in the middle, he's gonna be 1 or 2. He's gonna be something on everybody's team. On everybody's team, he's gonna be.
The worst. I'm not saying the worst in the NFL. I'm not going to say that because that's just ridiculous. But I will say this: he is, as far as starting 1 tech goes, he's probably number 4 out of the NFC East.
Well, there are only 4 teams in the NFC East.
I don't know. Yes. I would put him. Because
the best 3.
The Davis. Because people. You talking about Davis is so great. People, the Eagles, there's some.
I'm not saying that Davis is so great. I'm just saying he's Jordan.
Okay,
Davis
I'm just letting you know.
There's
some people ready to get rid of Davis.
Yeah, but Davis' strength is bull rush though. But his strength, Davis is a bull rush.
Is it? Because
bull rush.
They're saying that he ain't been doing that lately.
The bull. I mean, that dude weighed about 800 pounds. He moving somebody back, just pure on weight alone.
Not the Dallas Cowboys. He ain't moving in his division back.
He was definitely a better run stopper than Mozzie Smith was last year. I can tell you that.
Who?
Jordan Davis.
I heard
no, that's factually wrong.
Yeah, that's not right.
He only had 2 tackles for loss, and they say he wasn't stuffing no runs. That's why their linebackers was getting exposed. So you can't say that, especially when Mozzie only played 28% of the full season snaps. Like, we're talking about a guy who was starter for the day 1 all the way to the end of the season versus a guy who was sprinkled in. Like, it's not the same. That's what I'm like.
I'm telling you guys,
it's not the same.
I'm telling you, he's still better than Jordan Davis is still better than Mozzie Smith. 110%.
Yes, I would say the only reason he's better then is because he has more reps. He has more time as playing starter minutes. That's where the line draws for me. Other than that, I'm like, we'll see with Mozzie.
And here's the funny thing: Jordan Davis is not even the starter for the Eagles team, and that's how good the. No,
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Jalen Carter.
Who's starting? Huh?
Carter and Sweat. Josh Sweat and Jalen Carter.
They're not. Davis was the starter. I don't know what's going to happen going into.
I
don't know what's going to happen going into the season, but he was the starter.
Last time I thought he was a starter. I thought he was.
He was a starter, but they added Josh Sweat, so it's Josh Sweat and Jalen Carter. They're the starters, and they 110%. You're not going to try to sit here and tell me that that Mozzie Smith is better than both of them, or any of them, because
we just talking.
Josh Sweat 110%, and he's not better than Jalen Carter 110%. There's no way. No way.
Man, you be throwing dirt on Mozzie's name. That's so crazy.
I'm not saying I'm throwing dirt. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not saying.
You throwing dirt. Yeah, you throwing dirt, bro.
Pretty much. I'm surprised that they keep him on the team.
Let me ask you a question then.
Go ahead.
Would you put Mozzie Smith, right? Jalen Carter. If you had to choose between Jalen Carter,
Josh, the thing is, you're comparing guys. You're comparing. First of all, you're comparing.
Answer my question.
Hold on.
Answer my question.
Guys, I'm not gonna answer it. How about that? Because it's not even what you're doing is not even fair.
I'm asking.
What you're doing is not even fair to the. But what you're doing. I'm not asking you a question. I'm just saying. I'm making a statement. What you're doing is unfair to the player Mozzie Smith because you're comparing him to guys who've had seasons under their belt and got to play whole seasons. Had have training camps where they're the starter for the whole season. Went to training camps, have preseasons, played whole seasons, and have whole seasons under their belt versus a second-year guy who's just now getting the starting reps. That's the difference.
All right. So, Dad, who's better, Jalen Carter or Mozzie Smith?
Jalen Carter, I would think.
Who's better, Jonathan Allen or Mozzie Smith?
I'll still say out of those three, Mozzie Smith will be coming in third. But I don't know. I can't say that about Davis, though. I even though I know y'all agree differently, but based on what I've saw and when reading, I'm like, Davis was not doing what everybody thought he should have been doing when he was out there starting.
Who's better, Dexter Lawrence? Who's better, Dexter Lawrence or Mozzie Smith? 100% Dexter Lawrence, because Dexter Lawrence is probably one of the top defensive.
It's so crazy you be saying
that. But I hear what he's saying, though. I agree with you, Joshua. But I hear what Jordan's saying. It's unfair to rate someone who hasn't been there and expect them to have the same level of. Unless it was like night and day.
That's like.
But going back, look
how you were. Hold on. Look how you were so down about Micah Parsons when he first got drafted and was on the Cowboys. You would have said the same thing. I don't know. He's not better than him. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not fair. Like, you're talking about a guy.
But he's had what's his name? Micah Parsons. Mozzie Smith has had NFL snaps. He has had NFL snaps. Micah Parsons hasn't had an NFL snap when I was saying that about him. And I didn't know that he was going to be like a rusher like that. Right? So I didn't know. But I've seen him. I've seen Mozzie Smith in an NFL team on the Dallas Cowboys playing defensive interiors. Maybe I will definitely, you know me, I will say I was 100% wrong. But going by what I've seen, he's not the number. He's number 4.
It's true.
He's not a number 4 guy.
Well, but no. He's saying he's number 4. He's number 4 based on the guys he was comparing him with.
NFC East.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if that's what you want to say, that's fine.
But based on what you've seen, you're saying that he's
based on what I've seen, those defensive tackles that you're talking about are not star players. They're not great. There's not so much that Mozzie can easily go into this season. Like, that's why I'm like, they're not moral beaters. They're not, oh my God, we got a game plan for him. They're not that guy 99 who retired. They're not him. So when you're saying all this, I'm just like, okay, he's only good. You're only saying this because they have reps underneath of them. But Davis had a bad season. The other guys that you're talking about on next to Davis, they had a bad season. The Redskins had a terrible season. The Giants had a bad season. Those players on those D-lines were not good last year. Now, whatever it is. So that's why I'm like, you talking about Mozzie.
Mozzie Smith.
No, they weren't. Oh, my God. Okay, they're better than Mozzie Smith. Okay. That's cool and all that. Okay. But look, you're projecting based on what you saw going into next season, and you're still saying Mozzie is not going to be Mozzie's underneath them. My projection for Mozzie is he's going to be at least around 3 or 2. Like, I'm like, he's not far. He's not far off. He's not far off where he can't be have that same play as them.
Right. So based on what I've seen, because that's the only thing I can go by. I can only go by what I've seen.
Because I have Odigizua. I have Odigizua as the best D tackle in the NFC East. For one, I got him 1. If we're going on best D tackles in the NFC East.
I guess you don't know who Dexter Lawrence is, but that's okay.
I do know who Dexter Lawrence is. I still got Odigizua over Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence is 100% better than Odigizua.
That's
100%.
100% is crazy.
100%. Yeah.
See how far off the boat he goes? 100% is crazy.
Yes.
No.
Because you know why? Because Dexter Lawrence is like number 5 in the league. So you're saying that Dexter Lawrence.
That doesn't make you 100% better than. That doesn't make you 100% better than. You're saying Odigizua is 0%. Does nothing good to that Dexter can do everything better than no.
Maybe Ozigbo he can cover like probably wide receivers better. He probably can do that. But when it comes to defensive interior and as far as pass rushing and run stopping, Dexter Lawrence is better at run stopping, and Dexter Lawrence is better at pass rushing.
I bet different running the better at pass rusher than Odigizua.
He has better stats than him. He has everything better. Everything better he has. I mean, I don't understand what you're saying. Like Dexter
I don't understand
Lawrence
what you're saying.
Dexter Lawrence is that dude.
That doesn't make him 100% better than.
Yes.
No,
he's 100% better than. It does not make you 100% better than.
It does not make you 100% better than. That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Some people will put him number one. That's what I'm saying. Some people will put him number one.
So Pat Mahomes is 100% better than Dak Prescott?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a go. Okay, you're just crazy.
100%.
100%.
Your percent. I think your percentage is flawed. I think your percentage is flawed.
They don't belong on the field field. Like that's what you. That's what I'm getting when you say 100%.
You're great. When I say like 100%, I'm like, there's nothing that Dak does better than Pat Mahomes. That's what I'm saying. Because when I mean by 100% better, that means that now 50% better would be like, yeah, this dude is better at passing the ball than he is at running the ball, right? If he does, I think Dak is more accurate.
I think Dak is more accurate than Pat Mahomes. That's not 100% better than, and the stats might prove it.
That's okay. I think that he's a little bit more accurate. Like, okay, the stats does.
So that's not 100% better than.
You're right. By your logic. But I'm saying based off of what he had to deal with, I still think Pat Mahomes is still,
now you're going based off what he had to deal with. That's different.
Still better. But I will say this. Dexter Lawrence was graded the number one interior defensive
I'm still going with my dog Odigizua.
And he still had a
boo-boo team. He didn't do nothing to help his team win games.
Okay, now tell me this.
He's an interior defensive tackle. Like, he's a defensive. He's like a defensive tackle.
And what did 99 do? And what did 99 do 10 years in the league? Won 10 Pro Bowls. Won 10 All-Pros. What are you talking about? That don't mean nothing. Get out of here with that. Come on now.
Still can game plan for them. Like, I mean,
come on now. Taking on triple teams and still getting pressure on your quarterback. You want to talk to me about Dexter Lawrence like I can't take my dog Odigizua. Get out of here with that. I ain't trying to hear that. 100% better than. 100% better than nobody. Because you going home, at least Odigizua is taking me to the playoffs.
Ozigbo, he's not taking you to no playoffs.
He did. He helped that team go to the playoffs. He helped that team go to the playoffs.
Odigizua, I said Ozigbo. Odigizua was rated number 20 in the league, right? Dexter Lawrence was ranked number 1.
Every year is different. Every year is different because there was a year where Odigizua I think was top 5. So what that's what I'm saying. Like year you're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have look, Parsons is gonna get off. Hey, he's probably gonna get all the pressures and all sets. That's all I'm saying. He's still doing his part.
113th. He was the 113th best defensive interior.
That don't mean nothing to me, Josh. I don't care what
I'm going by basically what I've seen.
Yes, he only played 28% of the snaps of the whole season. That's minuscule.
Do you understand the significance of 113?
That's minuscule.
113. There's 113.
That's minuscule.
There's 2 defensive
tackles.
So
you're gonna have your rating's gonna be bad. Like what?
But look.
Dad, that's like a receiver catching 50 balls and he only had 10 incompletions. Like what are we talking about? Or 5 incompletions. So now that receiver's or he caught 5 balls. He caught 5 out of 5 balls in the season. So he must have the best hands in the league.
All right, all I'm saying, are y'all not going to tell me?
He must have the best hands in the league. You caught 5 for 5 out of your receptions.
No,
tackles.
No, I told you exactly. I mean, if the stats read that, the stats read that. But reads that. But my thing is, when I said your percentage is flawed, because you said how many D linemen is listed in the league? How many D linemen? I mean interiors.
I think like 100 and 150, I believe, or something.
150.
130.
So
130.
So you got 130, and you got one player you're talking about ranked number 1, and the other player ranked number 2. I mean number 20, and you saying that he's out of 150. You ranking him 100% better than Odigizua? That percentage don't add up to me. To be 100% better. When you say he's 100% better than Odigizua, that percentage rating is flawed. It can't be.
No, because I'm saying like.
But you said 100%.
Like Dexter Lawrence is better at the pass rush.
No, you said Dexter Lawrence is 100% better than Odigizua.
Yes, and this is my grade.
But he rated like number 1 and Odigizua rated number 20 out of 150. You don't see how that don't add up? 100% better.
It does. Like, but if you're not listening to my grading scale, right?
Oh, you're on a different grading scale.
Better at the
he's using 2 different grading scales. He's giving you the realistic stats based off PFF versus his head grading scale.
I'm also grading my scale based off like what I've seen. Dexter Lawrence is better at the pass rush and he's better at the run stoppage, right? So if you're better at both of those, that's 100%. If you're better at the pass rush but not better at the run stoppage, you're 50% better than he is. You see what I'm saying?
But so you're not so you're just using it as a ones and zeros. If he's better, he's is just 1. Not that he's somewhat better or a little better. Like, you just putting down if he's better, that's a 1. If he's not, that's a 0. So that's how you get your 100%. You got 2 stats. You got 2 positions. Like, you got rush and your passing.
Of course.
So you just use it as a 1 and 0. You just use ones and zeros.
That's all I can. That's all I can do because I haven't looked at Dexter Lawrence extensively. Maybe what's his name? Odigizua.
So you haven't even looked at Dexter Lawrence extensively. You haven't looked at Dexter Lawrence extensively, but you still got him 100% better than Odigizua. Now I can't take it.
Yes, that's based on my grading scale. Yes, it makes sense.
To me, whoever's number 50. That's 100% better than the number 1. I mean, it's less than the number 1.
What about
the 150? The guy who ranked 150.
What about 113? What about 113?
That's about like a 97% better.
Okay, if you're
I'm not basing on. But you basing on ones and zeros. If he's better, it's a 1. If he's not, it's a 0. So that's how you get 100%. Because you got 2 positions. You got two stats. You got rushing and you got passing. So if you're saying if you beat him in rushing, that's a 1. Beat him in passing, that's a 1. And then Odigizua gets a 0 on both of those. So that's how you add up to 100% better. I mean, I see your grading. I just think it's flawed. But I see your grading though. I do.
And I'll put all the money. I got Odigizua being the best pass rushing D tackle in our division. I don't care what you say about Dexter or show you had a good season. Listen, that dude was crazy. That's not crazy.
That is crazy.
Because he's been doing it. That's why Odigizua is a starter.
That's crazy.
That's not crazy. That's not crazy. Go look at Odigizula's pass rush. He got game. Dexter not 100% better than Odigizua at pass rush. That's
how many sacks? How many sacks does Odigizua have?
Sure.
How many sacks did he have? How many sacks did Odigizua have in 2023?
I don't know.
In 2023.
I don't know.
In 2023. Look.
Last year. That's the only thing I can.
Well,
no, it's not.
No.
He has a body of work.
Yeah, he do have a large body of work.
Season, he got a body of work to be a good pass rusher. That's what I'm saying. You take it. So that could be that. Look, that could be Dexter Lawrence's. That could be his best season because that's his best season. Don't make him better than Odigizua because you just got your best season. This like LeBron. Curry has one good season, so you gonna put Curry over LeBron? Never. What? That don't make no sense to me.
Okay, in the last 2 years,
I'll put in work after work after work, showing you what I do every single time. I might not get home on the quarterback every time, but I still got pressure. I can still get sacked.
The last 2 years, Jordan. The last 2 years. How many sacks did Odigizua have, and how many sacks did, if we're doing body of work, Odigizua and Dexter Lawrence?
So Digilure only been in 2 years?
No,
Yes.
Odigizua has been in for like 4 years already.
Okay, because he said a body of work. I just wonder why he just stopped at 2.
Okay, then what's his total amount of sacks?
I don't know. You had to go look it up. I don't know.
Look, and he had 3 sacks last year. He has 9 sacks in his career. He's been in the league.
Got it. Okay. 21. Okay, so Dexter Lawrence has 21 sacks. So now that the debate is over, that he's better than Dexter Lawrence.
3 seasons.
How long Dexter Lawrence been?
Odigizola's been in the league 3 seasons.
2019. So we can do the last 3 seasons. Do you want to do the last 3 seasons? We can do the last 3 seasons. Because even the last 2 seasons, seasons, Dexter Lawrence has more than 9 sacks.
9 sacks.
You want to do
23 tackles for loss, 74 solo tackles, 51 assisted, 35 QB hits.
Okay, what about Dexter Lawrence?
All right, for which year? For total or original total?
That was total. Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, that was. Wait, what did I say? Yeah, that was total.
Okay.
The last 3 years.
All right. How many for losses? Tackle for losses?
He's got 23 tackles for losses, 35 QB
where
hits.
Where are you looking at?
Here, I can pull up.
Okay. What do you have for Dexter Lawrence?
Well, first of all, like, as far as tackles goes, I mean, he has 266, and he has 21 sacks.
No. I mean, tackles for losses.
I don't know which one he's pulling up, so that way we can be like on the same par. What website did you use?
Pro Football Reference.
Okay. Pro Football Reference. All right.
That's interesting about those two, and it just seemed to me that the rating of 100% better says a lot.
Last year he had 4. So he had 4.5 sacks last year.
Who are you talking about?
Dexter Lawrence. He had 4.5 sacks last year, 32 solo tackles, and that was it. Or that's as the quick stats that I'm seeing. Odigizua last year had 3 sacks and 26 solo tackles.
Yeah, I don't see 100% there.
That's not 100% better than. I'm just saying
100%?
based off that. He had 3 sacks. He had 3 sacks. He had 4.5. How is that 100% better than? That's still 100%. That's not. My math must not be mathing. That's not 100% better than.
I don't get that.
You had 4.5. So you had 4.5 sacks. I had 3. That makes you 100% better than me?
No, it doesn't.
Math. That's what he was talking about.
Huh? What are you talking about, Joshua? My point is that's not 100% better to me. I don't get the 100%. I don't want to get stuck on that.
What's 100% better? Okay, what's 100% better to you then?
Somebody that has 0 sacks.
Yeah.
Somebody that has 0 sacks that played the same amount of time, like they played a full season.
0
just
sacks.
like
So if somebody had 0 sacks and somebody had 1 sack, that means it's 100% better, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Monty Smith got a sack too.
Well, that's 100% better of sacking stats for that year.
Yeah,
it's 100%.
I'm talking about because I said Odigizua. I still take Odigizua pass rushing capabilities. Cause I like him pass rushing. That's what I said.
How do you take him as a better pass rusher than Dexter Lawrence when Dexter Lawrence had more sacks last year? That's not making any sense to me, Jordan.
He had 1 more sack. Because I'm saying
more sacks.
Because I'm saying I believe in Odigizua better. I'm going with Odigizua. That's just it. I just like his
for loss.
Tackles for loss, he had 9. And what did Dexter have?
A lot. Wait, 9? He did not have no 9
tackles for loss. Tackles for loss, he had. I'm just going off what the stats say. Tackles for loss, Dexter Lawrence had 7. And Odigizua had 9. That's what it's saying. Hold on, let me double check Odigizua's tackles for loss.
Well,
Yep, 9.
That's
9.
That's stats.
That's 9. Stats.
Well, yes, Joshua. Stats.
So all that means to me is Dexter Lawrence can't get behind, can't stop the running back or stop whoever behind the line better than Odigizua. That's 100. Wow. That's 100% better than. He's 100% better than Dexter Lawrence that gets tackles for loss. Let's go. Let me hear it.
100%. I will say that.
Okay.
No, it's not.
So don't get mad at me when I say I'm going to ride with Odigizua. That's all I'm saying.
That's not 100%. That's not 100%.
He is right. Okay. Odigizua.
No, his logic is 100%.
Dexter Lawrence is the
that's what you're
number
saying.
1 defensive tackle in the league.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool.
No one is debating that.
I understand that.
No one is debating that.
I just said I'm going to ride with Odigizua. I just like from what I see from Odigizua, I just like that. If I'm going to start a team, he's going to be on my team.
He's a homer. It sounds like a homer to me.
It's not a homer. It's not a homer. How am I a homer when I say there's 2 better pass rushers than Micah Parsons all the time? I say the dude in Cleveland is better than Micah Parsons day in and day out on his worst day. So I don't know how I'm a homer.
Better?
But I like Diggy Ozuna. He's not. I'll refuse. I'm not going by your logic and saying, oh, just because he does it better, he's 100% better than. No. What? He's not. He's probably 10%, 20% better than Micah at pass rushing. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say he's 100% better than.
So, as I stated before, Mozzie Smith is still number 4 when it comes.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. Out of the 4 people you're talking about, I'm not arguing that.
I'm saying this, it is by a pretty significant margin. From what I saw last year, maybe he does something completely different this year, but based on what I saw last year and what I saw in camp,
I'm not arguing with you. Not when you're talking about Mozzie Smith.
That's why I was like, hey, it's probably the fact that they're probably going to get somebody better, or at least to help Mozzie Smith.
Okay, I mean that's why I ask you. Do you believe? Are you confident? I mean that's why I was asking. Are you confident that the organization believe that as well? But then when you start talking about Odigizua,
there wouldn't be okay.
Then that's what's
confident. But like I said, because I.
But that's why I'm saying I'm fine with Odigizua and Mozzie Smith.
I mean, are you? Let me ask you this question: are you 100% sure that I'll put it this way. Are you 100% sure
on everything? I'm not 100% sure on anything.
He asked me the same question. Are you 100% confident that the Cowboys are confident in their running back room?
I said, are you confident? I didn't say 100% confident, but I didn't use 100%.
Okay. Are you confident? Okay. Are you confident that the Dallas Cowboys are confident in their running back room?
I have no clue. I have no. I don't think the coaches are. But I don't know if Jerry Jones might think he is. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't speak for them.
Now, are you confident in the Dallas Cowboys running back room?
No, I'm not confident in Dallas Cowboys running back room.
Okay, so it's 2 completely different things. That's what I'm saying. Like, I am not confident in the defensive tackle room. Now, is the Dallas Cowboys front office confident in the?
But that's 2 different arguments. I don't care that you say that.
But no,
that's fine. Like you cannot be confident.
I'm answering his question. What do you mean you don't care? He asked me the question.
No, but I said.
No, I'm saying
but
it doesn't bother me that you say that you're not confident in that.
I don't care if it bothers you. That's my opinion. We don't care what you think about.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying you get mad that I get mad at something. That's what you do.
I'm not mad at you getting mad.
You do. You get upset and be like, I don't see how you can say that. But I'm just saying that's not the issue. The issue is when you put our D line all the way at 20. That's the issue. That's a lot. Yeah.
Are we can put them at 20?
That's the only thing.
Interior. Because the defensive interior is not that great.
Okay, well, check this out, because it's time to go. This is great. I really wanted to get into who you forget. I'm gonna ask this question, and I want you guys to give me one person really quick. I don't want you to go too into it because we got to get out of here. Because I was going to ask in the NFC East only.
I got it. Most overrated.
Who's the most overrated?
All right.
Do you feel?
First, I was going to say Jalen Hurts, but after this conversation, Mozzie Smith.
That's so dumb.
That's crazy.
So look, see, that's how I know he's like, I'm not bothered. I don't get offended. But that's how I know you do.
I'm
that's
not
how
bothered
I know
by
he
it.
gets offended and bothered.
I'm going by the consensus. I'm going by no, it's not. I'm just going by the consensus.
Just to try to spite me. That's why I'm like, see, I know you.
I'm not trying to spite you at all.
I know you.
Based off of what you're
It's all
saying.
good though. It's all good.
It's all good.
That is funny.
It's all good. You act like I put. You act like. Look, I thought he was, and look, to really do it in, I thought he was gonna say Diggy Zool. Like, you said Mozzie Smith.
Okay, all right, Jordan. Who you have? Most overrated.
You guys told me. Actually, you showed me that he had more tackles for loss.
Okay.
So that's why I said, what about you, Jordan? You're the biggest over.
My is overrated.
Yeah, in the NFC East.
Yeah.
In the NFC East, my most overrated person in the NFC East is I think Saquon Barkley.
Really?
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say
really?
that.
I think most overrated person. As much love I have for Saquon Barkley, I think he is the most overrated person in our.
Really?
I hope.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
Hey,
I didn't see that coming.
I 100% hope you're right. I hope you're right. I didn't
see that.
Overhyped.
Because I think
you're right.
Right. I think he's better. I think he's a solid back, but that's me. But
I think he's a solid back too. I just don't. I don't think
he's up to where everybody's putting him up.
What people are putting him at, Dad.
Yeah.
What people are putting him, they're still putting him at like top 5 running backs in the league. That's why he's saying it's the most overhyped.
Well, we'll see running behind that Washington front. Not the Washington front.
Washington.
Eagles front. Yeah,
Eagles
we'll
front.
see what they do from that, and then we'll go from there.
Please.
Oh man, this is something else. You guys had me going today. This was awesome.
What's your point? Be good.
Say what?
You're good.
All right, here we go. Once again, setting it straight with fam. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it more authentic than this. We coming straight. We not biased of nothing. We're gonna give it to you like it is, whether you like it or not. But that's what we are. We are the Dallas Cowboys, setting it straight with fam. I hope you guys enjoyed the day, enjoyed the back and forth, the banter, the debate. It was awesome. So look, if you like it, give us a thumbs up, you know what I'm saying? And hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Join us because we do this every week. And look for us next week to doing the same thing. Because there it is.
And let us know who you guys think is the most overrated player in the NFC East.
That's right.
Let us know.
Hey, hey.